Greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Welcome back once again, brothers and sisters, to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, here to share some time. I forgot I put that overlay on. Maybe I'll leave that up for a while. End wars, government secrets. It'll just be a bold subliminal, imprint for anyone who happens to watch the screen. Sharing that message. My goals. Anyway, today, brothers and sisters, I'm actually very chill. And our poll, you are right on line. Cozy Cot. I'm kind of feeling pretty chill today. I'm pretty sure it's Sunday afternoon, right? I've already dropped the link, pinned it to the top of the chat for those who wish to join, wish to share their honor with the panel, with the conversations. All are welcome to click the link and join. But the topic today was from the thumbnail. A declaration for today. Fear, you have no place in my life anymore. And then, each of us can kind of check ourselves. I forgot what it was I said. The whole idea of this shadow work stuff, going within, it's actually to recognize where hidden talents are, where hidden fears are. But the fears, recognize where hidden fears may have been used as excuses, right? Because that's what happens. When our fears come up, well, hey, there's an excuse not to grow. There's an excuse not to learn. I already, whatever. I started getting into mockery, and I notice that sometimes I can make a fool out of myself doing that. Where is this thing? I'll shut that off. And young Christos, Christos. If you are there in the viewers, come on up, brother. You got some confusion, it seems, you want to throw my way, so let's work through it. And what I'm referring to is something I suspect, right? Good to see the real ones, like the God of all media rebuking Tyrant Cot and the likes of. Yeah, the little victim projecting his venom and hate all over the metaverse, and you're following his suit. It's freaking hilarious, man. I'm assuming that might be what that's in response to, so praise be. There you go, Flo. Hey, today, what I've learned for myself as far as overcoming fears, honestly, it is through gratitude. It's a simple check to the gut, right? Check to the heart. Really reminding yourself what you're fortified with, what it is you are made of. Because once you remember what you're made of, the fears kind of take on a little different perspective. They're less of a problem, and then eventually the fears become like just it's a little inconvenience. What are you doing wasting my energy again, right? Don't need this stuff in my life. I've got more things to be grateful for. I don't have things to fear. I've got things to be grateful for, things to offer, things to share. See, when we recognize our abundance, yeah. And the facts don't care about your feelings, right? So whether you like something or don't like something, it's up to you to figure out. I mean, only you are affected by your opinions, and your opinions should not become the problems of other people. What I mean by this is we've seen it, especially in some of the panel discussions, a lot of hurt people sharing their bitterness. just seeking attention, just so needy. They just obviously need a hug. But really, brothers and sisters, the only ones who can heal someone who feels broken is themselves. But see, that's the irony. That's what's so funny about this life we're living. Is the people who feel broken don't feel like they have the strength to heal or to fix themselves. They feel helpless and confused, but they're the only ones who can stop feeling helpless and confused. So it's like a perfect game our Creator has created for us. I'm telling you, give it up to God, man. Praise God in all its glory, all its perfection, all its unexplored, unknown, unrealized potentialities. We don't know. We don't know what we do not know. And brothers and sisters, I'm a smart guy. I'm not going to deny the fact that I know very little in the scope of what could be known in this realm, in this world. As a human being, do you know how many things could be studied, could be learned? How much information is available for us? We don't really learn or grow when we're focused on surviving. And I tell you what, brothers and sisters, surviving is not living. You can survive in hell. You can. But do you want to? I mean, when you have the opportunity to overcome the hell that you are creating, the hell that you are living, the hell that you are accepting, when you find the will within you, the inspiration, the dream that, holy shit, maybe I can outgrow this. Maybe this is just something from my past. Maybe I don't need these things to repeat in my life. Whatever repeating patterns those are, whether it's going to the bar, whether it's, finding yourself stuffing at the fridge, whatever it is, whatever patterns we keep creating, those are up to each of us to stop, to put aside, to walk away from, to overcome. Anything that is not good for us can be let go. And so, if you want to care about your feelings, if you want to find peace, peace within yourself, if you want that good feeling of completion, I think that might be an accurate word, because it is kind of a feeling of completion when you're just whole and there's no lingering regrets, no anxiousness about unresolved this, unresolved that. And of course, there's no urgency to fight. When you're at peace within yourself, man, that's where your life can be discovered. Because may have been a bug on my arm, I don't know. Where I was going with this is facts don't care about your feelings, but the best way to feel good is to find comfort within yourself for whatever facts of life that you know, whatever you've learned. If you're feeling unease and resistance and fear and anger and all this stuff, guess what? That is in you for you to resolve. But I'm willing to help anyone who's got some cloudiness within themselves, some darkness that just won't seem to go away, or some patterns of behavior that they don't really appreciate themselves. If anyone's wanting some support to grow, I'm willing to help. I'm willing to offer whatever support that I can. This is what I learned and how Wisdom teaches that I know nothing, but I don't dismiss that which I do know. And yeah, there you go. The more I learn, the more I learn I need to learn. And thank you, Queen of Swords. I had a beautiful day today. I did skip church today, though. I just felt unmoved, unmoved to go and listen to others when I could sit comfortably and just explore myself, my own spirit, my own faith. And I gotta admit, yesterday's results for myself here in town left me a little puzzled again, and still don't know what's going on. Brothers and sisters, there's a love and a force that is moving us forward, all of us, bringing us forth through time, towards a greater future, a greater destiny. And I believe it is through our minds, that our destiny, our future is revealed in many different ways. I've been trying to figure out where yeah, I actually did. I did an audio recording. It's mostly me though talking. And actually, I don't always go to church. I mean, it comes in cycles. I mean, there is a path I can go to 3 or 4 services on a Sunday, and I was going to 3 of them pretty regularly. But hey, thank you. Can truth be subjective? Welcome. Thank you to all those popping in. Can truth be subjective? Can situations and individuals have a truth different from one another? Yes, they most certainly can. This is the unfortunate truth, objective truth of our reality. I was thinking about this earlier, and please, I may be clumsy with this explanation, but it kind of makes sense to me. Truth is whatever we want it to be. Simple as that. So in that order, every truth we can have can be subjective. Now, it's up to each of us to align our own individual subjective truth with that which is the objective reality, the objective truth. The I don't want to over explain that, but yes, truth can be whatever we want it to be, and whatever we want it to be is what will become true for us. Guys, God is the truth. God is subjectively revealed for each of us, through each of us, to each of us, uniquely, independently, and yet it's all inclusive. It's all at once. It's so amazing. Our God is here to serve us. It has served us, this world and this time of being. So all inclusive of what this world and what this time of being is ours. Okay? Now that is my subjective truth, that we are here to claim the world. For what? For who? What does that mean? For how? Why? We are here to claim this world for love. Because God is love. Love is beyond the truth. And I know that's a paradox, but it's like the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Father, the Spirit, the Son, whatever. Excuse me. I mean, no disrespect. There's a lot of interpretations to that. But love and truth, love and truth and logic. That is the Father, the Christ, and the Antichrist, but it doesn't necessarily oppose, it brings balance. Golly geez, God is just perfect. Chuck, our God is here for the living. See, Chuck, here's why we disagree. You always want to argue with what you hear me say. It's like you don't know. God is here to serve us as we are here to serve God. It is the laws of nature. It goes back to the Hermetic philosophies. It's all the same thing, okay? It is all the same. There are, I heard this earlier. It's not just the laws of exchange. It is the rhythms. It's at the tip of my tongue. There's an exchange, a give and take. Here, yeah, you guys have probably got it. I don't know what that is, but I think that might be. there's a lot of different explanations. There is love. Love is, it is a God is love. The agape love, the love that is all inclusive, that is without conditions. It is just the love that is present. That is available for us to feel, to know, to share, to become. And it's easier than you think. It is easy to be love. It is so much easier to be love than to be hateful. I promise you, I've lived both ways. I choose love today. And my facts, facts of love, you know what? Love does care about your feelings. God. I had this lesson recently. I've shared that there was a woman in my past who was kind of a catalyst for me. She opened my heart, kind of sparked me a little bit to the idea of becoming a better man. And I checked into detox and, eventually really chose to get better. And anyway, so she was a catalyst for my improvement. And it was just recently, I was thinking about it. I messaged her recently. It's that looking back on my past, while I was doing well, holy cows, a few things are coming together in this story. Talked to Mom earlier too. Something else came out. While I was doing well enough, right, as a union leader and secure job, part-time dad, while I was doing well, I had a lot of people enabling me, enabling my anger, enabling my addictions, my excuses to be angry and to be a drunk, my excuses to be overweight and to be unhappy. I had a lot of people who enabled me, except this woman. She didn't give a shit about how I felt. She told me what she believed and she stood on what she saw and she called me out on a lot of crap. But you know what? Her lack of care about my feelings, her care for me, right? Her care that she knew I could be stronger and present myself as a better man than I thought I could. Her love and her care, her lack of care of my feelings is what made me stronger. So I encourage each of you, right? Care, but don't care about your feelings. Understand them. Allow them. Allow it to be part of you, but your feelings are not you. Okay? You are not depressed. You are not anxious. You may feel those things. You may feel those states and energies, and it might be an accurate description of where your feelings are. Okay? But our feelings do not become us unless we allow it. And this is where I have been growing in myself here online, publicly, unfortunately, trying to rise through the angry cot, to allow those feelings to be, but not to allow them to move me. And I'm growing and learning. We're all growing and learning together. That's what's pretty cool, is that we really don't have to fight each other. We do not have to fight. Feelings can sometimes cause the battles in our mind that take away, that take away our peace and joy. This is what I learned for myself as well, Sophia. Amen. It's those inner battles in our mind, the stinking thinking, the patterns of negative doubt and all this crap that we carry with us. And we don't have to. So this is what I mean. Our natural state of being, when you become still, just, if you can't do it right now, do it later, but remind yourself, I will come still into me and just allow myself to be as I am, who I am, where I am, how I am. It's okay. I can just be still and know the world is going on. That's happening. Okay, I'm not saying it's not, but right now in me is a stillness and a knowing that I am love and I'm whole. And there is a God of love. There is a God that Jesus called the Father. I know it's been given other names as well, and I believe Allah. There's so many realms, okay, to describe. But where we are is we are living in a dream of life that has been gloriously created for us to learn from, to live within, to appreciate, and to love. That's why we're here. God created this for us. The laws of nature are created for us to sustain our lives. The sun is there for us. The water is there for us. The air is there for us. All of this stuff is here for us, right? The soils, everything has been designed perfectly for us to breathe what the plants breathe out, and we breathe in what the plants breathe. It's like we are connected to everything. So, do you want to feel alone? Do you want to feel afraid, disconnected from this time right here and now? Because right here and now is the only time that we actually get to live. Golly jeez, man. Heckle Bus, you do need some love. I'd be honored to be your friend, but you're pretty creative with your excuses and your anger, man. But see, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. The problem. I could help you. I could be a solution for you. But your problems with me keep you from receiving the solutions. We can't know. We can't ever know if we could help each other actually until we actually try. Oh yeah, no. Hey, with the mods, please, I don't want to get into a blocking and unblocking things, but I am going to go ahead and we'll just do it like that. We'll limit the chat to subscribers at least. You got to go through that inconvenience of subscribing to. Holy cows! I don't want to subscribe to Jack. That might help him. No, whatever. Hey, I love all who are here. Everyone is where they are supposed to be. Sterling, yes, you're right. Hold on. Brother, no one's triggering anybody, okay? Only God can save Wizard. God is love. God works through us, through the forces of us and all that is. Now, God is within Wizard. There is God within Wizard. There is love waiting to explode out of Wizard. But, he's a good man who's got a stubborn mind. And these stubborn minds trap our hearts. And I know what it's like to have a trapped heart. I know what it's like to fall asleep comfortably with the warmth of anger, passion. That's what I called it. It was actually anger that fed my dreams, my future. I recognize it in others. Hecklebus, brother. You are a man just like me. And I love me. I love Wizard. I've learned to love because you know why? It feels better than hate. It really, really, really does. It really, really does. Love always feels better than hate. But love is mysterious and it's confusing. A lot of people I know, I trust. You know what? From my personal experience, I can say confidently, from my assumptions and the facts I've seen, there's a lot of people who do not understand love. And my only thing that makes sense with that, though, with my faith, is that it's God's design. Oh, that's right. I watched another video, Aaron Abke, again. For those who don't know, look him up, Aaron Abke. Those who do know, He did a talk. Damn, what was it? Yeah, this is where the idea was confirmed with me. The perfection of God's design, right? We are multidimensional beings with the power of God that flows through us, with us, for us, with or without our knowing. However, when we consciously choose to make excuses to push ourselves away, no, I'm not going to accept that reality that's been shown to me. I'm not going to accept that. Or the love that's offered and available, the forgiveness that someone is offering. Oh, I'm sorry I hurt you. Let me forgive. Please, let me make it up to you. No, I will never forgive you. You do that shit, guess what? God's going to allow you to go nuts. I'm speaking from experience. I went nuts. I went nuts a long time ago, believing in governments, believing in politics, believing in economics. Did you know that this is, as they say, Satan's realm? that, like, before we were born, fallen angels came down here and had a part in the development of our ancestors and maybe an influence in the direction of the leadership of today's world. Okay, so as it is said, I would, Wizard brother, please, if you are there, please click this link and join the chat. Join this conversation. Let's get into some scriptural conversations, please. Okay. Because I just had this, I have these interpretations of the Bible that are different than what most of those churches, many of the churches are teaching. Now, the interpretations I have, they're not just made up and unsupported. The God of this earth, the rulers in high places. Okay. So God is the good. God, our God is here for the living. There's scriptures that support these things, okay? And this is where I'd love to have a conversation with scripture, is that what I'm hoping for is to help me, okay? I know these words are coming from scripture. I don't remember the exact words, but at this point, I would love some help. If someone would help me increase, strengthen my messages to connect what I'm saying with the actual, scriptural references, if someone would help me refine, who knows, man? I think I could get a lot better. But hey, if you don't want to help me, brother, you don't have to. You don't have to try. Yes, Wizard he's got a lot of stories. He's got a lot of wisdom. Pain in life brings wisdom. Wisdom and pain can either break a man or make a man. I know what has happened with me, and I know what I intend for my future. I no longer accept to be broken. I no longer accept to be hurt. Yeah, that shit happens, but it doesn't become me. Whoever finds the interpretations of these sayings will not experience death. What is death? I mean, interpretation. Interpretation is key. Oh, well, blessings. For those who are encouraging, Wizard. I see signs that say yes. I see signs that show Wizard trying to offer me bitterness and anger because of things that he thought. It shows me that there's a hurt within him. And it has been my experience, Chuck, in Tennessee. It has been my experience for many years, particularly since God allowed me to start discovering faith, that many people like to come forth and present to me all sorts of shit from their past as though it's my fault and I need to deal with it. I do my best. I don't believe anyone is broken, though. I heard it best described that we are eternal souls, eternal beings. We are divine spirits. Immortality is ours. Who are having a temporary experience in mortality. Okay? So as we come in, I don't know exactly where the choices begin and which one, where is our choice and where is just God's order that says, hey, this vibration and this frequency is coming to Earth right now, and poof, here you are, based on the sun and the star and the planets and where you're born. Here's who you are. I don't know if we choose or God chooses, but we are here as divine spiritual beings having an experience of limitation. Okay, because life is finite, it ends. So here is where we get to experience the beginning and the end within the all. It's so amazing. It is so amazing that we get to happen at all. I was bringing this up for a reason. Oh, so some of us come into these lives and we dream sickness into ourselves. I'm going to come back around. Golly geez. We come into these realms and we dream these sicknesses, we dream these challenges, we dream these lives for ourselves. Is it? Did I have a Monday thing on my pal? Thing? I don't know. I don't know. Hey, hey man. Who knows what the future's going to bring? Who knows what the future is going to bring? We do not know. What is Mitch? Is dark needed? Everything works. This is the thing. This comes back to that earlier question. I should have tagged it, started it for myself, about the subjective truth. God is here, reveals itself uniquely to us, for us to discover. God is the truth. The truth is revealed through light and love. Light and love are energies that, you know, those are the powers of everything. Light and love. And that's what we are. We're like energetic beings apparently made from the frequencies of stardust, breathed into life by some divine force that moves us, and it's far beyond the limits of what we can comprehend. There's many people who have, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like it's impossible to comprehend. It's just there's been many philosophers, many different people throughout time trying to understand and comprehend what is beyond our realm. What is it that we are? How do we become? And why is it's just so easily to move, and we are expressions of the divine that really, we are a species with amnesia. We really are. Because if we knew who we were, if we knew who we were, you know, Fuhrer, I looked it up, man. I'm not a Fuhrer, but that's been my role. I've stepped up where others, and led where others didn't really want to, when I didn't want to. I could do a lot of things better than the way things are being done. I know that. I know I can be a good leader. I am conscious. I am aware. I'm loving. I'm honest. I'm authentic. I'm positive. Those are all the qualities you want in a leader. That's me. I know I can be a leader. So put me in the government scenario and let me figure out who these advisors are. We'll have some conversations. We'll get some shit figured out, and we'll get some diplomatic ends to these nonsense wars. Holy cows, I just took you on a trip in my imagination. I hope it comes real. Hey, I appreciate, thank you. Ascending Ancient, all who want to join are welcome to join. If you have ideas to help live without fear, grow, and if you can help find ideas for peace and a greater world to emerge, please do. Reach out to me and whatever. Let's just get some stuff done. Welcome, Cage. How you doing, brother?
What's up, bud?
Equibus, you're such a jerk, man. Golly jeez. Um somewhere. Hey, respect. And actually, I want everyone to become leaders. I really do. I want everyone to be leaders. City council. I did see that we got a new mayor elected, and so that gives me the idea to try swinging back around. I haven't been very successful in communicating with the past.
Yeah, Jack. But
Yeah,
the whole
brother.
leader thing and the fear thing, they kind of actually go hand in hand, right? Like, I've noticed, yeah, people are only going to, you have to instill fear into people in order to lead them in a way. Unfortunately.
You got a what?
Instill fear into them. What's up, Jesse?
Hi.
Welcome, brother. We had an echo. Or it brings up the warning, but you've got headphones on, right?
I'm just trying to connect them right now, so just mute me.
Hey, beautiful. Thank you, brother. Get your stuff figured out and feel free to jump back in. Well, what would you say to the leaders involved in protecting satanic cults that eat babies fresh from the womb? Well, I would assume they would not be in that activity at the time I have a conversation with them. So I would speak to them as people. And speaking to people with honesty and care publicly, we would discuss what leadership means, what um, honor means, what authenticity means. We could discuss a lot of things. Actually, with the people in the US government, I would sincerely like to discuss with them a couple of words. Leadership, number one. Equality, number two. And number three, peace. Those three things, very simple. They all go together. How you doing, brother? Get it going?
Just got to line them up, give them lead therapy. What's up, Jesse?
Hey, Jack, that's better, right?
Yes, no echo. Thank you, brother.
Okay, awesome. Good to see you both. Happy Sunday.
Hey, thank you, man. You know, it's it's another day. Discordian. I don't know what's going on with you guys. Anything cool?
I had a really good interview today with Elena Dannon, who is a contactee she's a Galactic Federation of the World's emissary, and she has been contacting these Nordic aliens or ETs that look like us, but they come from some other place, and they've been giving them technologies and all that kind of stuff. So fascinating person, and got a good message for humanity. So it was a pretty wild interview. We had over 300 people watching live, and we've already reached like 2,000 or 3,000 people already. For just finished it like an hour or two ago. So yeah, it was a pretty good interview.
Very cool. I caught a good chunk of it. I had it going in the background for a while. And it was very interesting, and I loved her energy. You know, I don't know. There's so much going on. I have so much hope for this future. I really do. And you know what I heard there, the numbers increased with the right message. It's just all comes together. I think there's a creative force that brings us to what we need.
What was that called, Jesse? Galactic what? Alien Federation or something?
No, she's from the Galactic Federation of the World, and she's a galactic emissary, I guess, or something. She's a druid. She's from Ireland. She lives in Ireland or something. She's a shaman and a druid, and she had a alien, a tall gray, apparently, when she was 9 years old. She had woken up and she was all bloody, kind of down there. And so I guess some aliens tried to impregnators, some tall grays, and then these Nordic aliens came and stopped these bad ETs, and then took the implant out of her and has been communicating with her ever since. So
she claims she got raped by an alien at 9 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. I think that's like some traumatic repressed memories or something that she's coming up. That doesn't sound healthy, but
that's a quick assumption without asking any questions or even hearing the story directly, but certainly a possibility.
Yeah.
Occam's razor. Well, certainly, but again, I've experienced this myself. I've got kind of an unusual story. It can bring a lot of.
You got raped by aliens too, Jack? I don't know.
Nope. Yeah, no, mine's not even nearly that fucking weird. Mine's not even remotely that weird.
Just admit it, Jack. I know what happened to you. Just admit
it. I hope to find out. If there is aliens, I want to be an ambassador. I hope to be somehow, but I know there's others who are already playing that role. So my role is different. My role is just to try and wake people up to the facts. The facts are what is happening in our corporations, our economics, our political systems. This is not acceptable, and we can change it. Maybe not us individually and directly. We can't go into the office tomorrow and, just change the rules for everybody, but there are people who can. So, how do we join together and overcome the craziness? The craziness is that humanity believes it's okay to pay for wars. Right? Let's not worry about the shape of this planet. Let's start worrying about the state of this world we're living in. Whether you want to, whatever it is this we are experiencing. We're experiencing this life together.
I think it's like human nature in a way. Blowing shit up is fun.
That's not human nature, man.
That's the satanic energies within us. Yeah. Steal, kill, destroy. That's what it's the oppositional force. You're right. It does feel good because that's how we're made. But this is a perfect design that God has offered us in these bodies and with our consciousness. As we overcome our bodily, beastly, right? It's in the Bible, it talks about how the spirit and the flesh will defy one another. It's kind of a tug of war between us of, do we want to be self-serving and, indulgent in our consumption? Do we want to succumb to temptations and anger? Or do we want to overcome our beastly impulses? That's what we're supposed to do. And the way we're designed is, as we do our self-reflection, do our shadow work, as we become more spiritual in nature, more unified in the present, more unified with the energies and patterns of love, those frequencies, I trust and believe that as we become more loving, kind, more unified with the will of God, which is for us to be loving and kind and present, maybe a little excited for a future,
And that's our true human nature, not inverted like we've been living, that people think that it's our nature to kill and destroy, and that's just who and what we are. But I think that that's a facade. That's what they've done. They've inverted that, making people believe that that's what people want, when most people are kind, loving, and gentle, and not that exact opposite of what they try to tell us that we are as human nature.
It's a beautiful game. It's brilliant. I was thinking, if you can follow this comparison loosely and hopefully not without offense, but I was thinking about the mythical progression, the fallen angels, Lucifer, the chosen one, the most beautiful one. He was the most precious, kind of rebelled, falls to earth. And then the Abrahamic traditions of the Jews, they are allegedly the chosen people, creating somewhat of an arrogance within them, just as with the fallen angel. But the Jewish people had somewhat of an arrogance. And then, you know, there's a back and forth battle that occurs between the Gentiles and the Jews. And here we are.
And
And then the Christians came. Then the Christians came and they believed they were better than everybody else. And then I think maybe the Muslims did too. And it's like, holy crap.
my team's the best. But yeah, pretty much Jesse. You see how I do agree that most people have that loving nature, the heart, or whatever, all that peaceful. But in order to have that, then you have to have the opposite, because human emotion is a dichotomy, really.
I don't believe that.
You can't
I
have
don't
love
believe
without hate. It's like the same
No,
emotion.
that's wrong. Again, I think that was taught. I think that they taught that to people, and I think that's horseshit. I don't align with that at all.
Hold on.
Well, then that means you're removing free will. Then now you're a robot.
Well,
No, it's free will. There doesn't have to be darkness to have free will. They taught to justify the shitty behavior that you can't have light without the dark, so they can justify being shitty towards others because it just has to be there. And I think that that's bullshit.
okay, but Jesse, there is a truth to it, because even with the analogy of eating from the tree of knowledge, doing so on the tree of knowledge, it allows us to learn good and evil. We learn of the other choices, and that's where our free will comes in. And I believe God allows us to know the darkness in order to truly appreciate the glory of the light. And by being able to know, by that gift of knowledge, being able to know good and evil, that's like the gods. And that's what we are. We're images of the God with the ability to know good and evil. We get to choose what we are, moment by moment. Unless we don't. When we give our choices away.
And Jack, you always talk about Jesus and his Christian ideology. Right, here's a quote from, everyone knows this one, right? Do not think that I've come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I've come to pretty much set everyone against each other, father and mother, sister and daughter, whatever, all of it.
His role.
Jesus was not always like peaceful and fun loving either, too. Like when the tax makers and all that, and then the people messing with the religion, he went in there and beat the shit out of them.
No.
That's what it says in the book.
There's some who exaggerate, but I trust he was a man of peace and righteously, right? God is, I'm sure God has anger and frustration at those who desecrate and disappoint, just completely disregard. But in the end, it comes down to mercy, acceptance, love, forgiveness. And you're right. I've had a lot of Christians bring this up, saying that that's evidence that we're here to pay for wars, right? I mean, because I guess that's what they're fucking arguing for, is that we must be justified in paying for wars and continuing to fund the military industrial complex, because Jesus said he came to he came for war. His path, his role was different than ours. For those who want to follow the way of the Christ, we are here to share love and forgiveness and mercy.
Yeah, well, in the Bible, like the people, the opposition, the Shaitan worshippers, or whatever, he went into the temple and beat the fuck out of them with a cord and drove them out. Started whipping the shit out of them. Go search it up.
So let's do that today. Let's get the fucking bankers out of this damn political system and out of our world. Let's get this shit done. We could shut down the Federal Reserve and Wall Street and immediately improve the lives of many people around the world.
Like a revolution, right? But the
We
revolution
don't
is
need a
being-
revolution. We just need we need communication. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm excited. Yes, please. Go ahead.
I'm saying that's done very purposefully because a revelation or a revolution, I mean, is just another turn on the same wheel, right? It's done purposefully. You're not getting anywhere. You're still in that same loop, right? That's why it's called a revolution, right? You're just turning the wheel a little bit. Well, you're still there.
And righteous anger doesn't mean that it has to be dark. Right?
Righteous
There's times
indignation.
when there's times when, you know, that you have to defend. There's times where you have to do things that you probably wouldn't want to do in order to protect those that are around you. But that doesn't mean that that's dark.
I think it's the participation that needs to be removed. If everyone just decided to not participate in this shit, imagine somehow like a large percentage of the population just never bought anything for a week. That would destroy their entire system. You know, everyone just stays home. You know,
Hey,
people can't. You just buy them food and shit for the week. Enough resources
Hold on.
for their necessities.
Cage, let me address this comment, okay? Because Sarah, you're bringing your doubts and disbeliefs again, and I respect and honor that. But how are you going to compensate everyone who has a 401k that is 100% dependent upon the stock market? Sarah, you are obviously unwilling to even consider the benefits of what I'm saying. You're imagining a scenario, number one, where I guess it's me, where I'm suggesting a we, but compensate everyone. Why should anyone be compensated just for having money? Earning money is an absolute lie. It does not earn shit. It is a fabrication and a manipulation of economics that has everyone fooled. So here, 100% dependent upon the stock market, bullshit. People are 100% dependent upon God. They just don't know it. God is the truth. God is love. God is that which is available to be shared between us. Britt, why do you think that's a legitimate question when the alternative, right? You guys want to defend hedge fund managers. How fucking illogical. You know what? I'm not going to even play with this troll crap anymore. I'm sure I will, but
That's what I'm saying. Like righteous indignation or every call is needed. For example, there's a maniac shooting up a bunch of people. You know, is that a loving act to kill that individual, to stop him or stop the individual from going and creating more harm to innocent?
what are you where's the relevance?
Well, it goes right into the conversation. Like, it's not just
How so?
because love can be in different ways. Right? Love can be a negative action too.
All right, so please, you're just because you're saying things, you're not making any relevance, okay? Originally, I'm talking about let's end the Federal Reserve and the Wall Street. Then we get into defending. Well, actually, you are coming back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I am.
You're coming back to the love and darkness, aren't you?
Yeah, and you can't really end these people because they'll end you before you actually get a foothold into it. There's only one way out of this, and that's probably through righteous indignation. All right.
You know, what good does indignation do? All you're doing, seriously, all I hear you doing is justifying war. Okay? Rather than trying to understand what it is I'm suggesting, that peace is available.
Yeah, no, I hear you, Jack. But if you want to change, you think these people are gonna go down that easily? You know, just
Why don't we fucking try rather than arguing about assumptions? That's all I'm suggesting.
Yeah, what needs to be done cannot be spoken on the internet. But yeah.
Right, Sarah. I'm asking a legitimate question. I'm not opposed to getting rid of the stock market. It certainly sounds like you are, but whatever. In fact, I'm for removing it. But you want to make sure that the people who are invested get compensated. However, I know it will have issues that need to be resolved once it occurs. Right. It'll require a change in moral values. Simple as that. See, when people start caring about the truth and life more than fucking money and rules and regulations and politics, when people stop believing more in caring more about what they think more than life itself. Because seriously, that's what's happening when people are walking around depressed and angry every day. They are demonstrating a dysfunction, a detachment. It's not healthy, yet it is enabled and normalized in this sick, diseased society we live in. Okay, and what I'm talking about, people are living in these mindsets where they think their thoughts, their beliefs, they think what they were taught, what they chose to remember, they think that information is more important than life today. Because it is right now where we can argue or we can learn. We get to choose.
Yeah, like you can just not participate in any of it and kind of ignore it, but it's still there.
Yeah, people can, but it's very difficult to ignore reality, and ignoring reality is actually delusional. But there's a lot of people that want to ignore the facts that wars across the world, wars in other lands, they actually affect our lives. And the poverty, the homelessness, that actually does affect our lives. And we can complain and we can blame and we can make excuses, or I'm telling you guys, this is our lifetime to change this shit.
No, it's fucking not. No, it's not. If I was there in person, I would make you take that fucking hoodie off. You don't give a shit about the facts. You ignored Sarah's question entirely.
Well,
No.
Jack, what do you suggest then? Because personally, if it was up to me, I'd just line people up, give them lead therapy, like a dictator.
Yeah.
But then it goes both ways, right? So now I'm the bad guy.
Right. I'm being moved to do exactly as I've said, to bring leadership and transparency, to bring logic and reasoning. And this is what blows my mind. I am presenting logic and reasoning behind the conclusions that I suggest that secrets and lies can end. Okay. Facts fucking matter.
There's no reason to think that is a fact at all. It's never happened in human history.
So what?
So it's not a fact. By definition, that's not a fact.
Explain what prevents secrets from ending.
No, just because it's possible, it's conceptually possible, doesn't make it a fact. A fact is already done.
No, not necessarily. Objectively, we can, that is the gift of our reasoning, is we can objectively, formalize logic. If A, then B, if C, then D, we can follow that line of progression, and we can use our mutual reasoning to consider, variables, what may or may not affect that. But the fact is, secrets and lies are choices that individuals make. Now, individuals in the past, other people, not you and I, but other people chose to put that shit into legislation that supports and protects the demons of corporations more than you and me. You can't deny that.
Yes, I can. I can deny the whole perspective. We are the corporations. Everybody who's got a retirement account, everybody who's got any sort of investment, mutual fund, 401k, IRA.
Yep.
We are the corporations, Jack.
Yep. we are the things to be sold, to be.
And if you're not part of the corporations now, it's only because you recently lost your money. It's not because you didn't participate in it.
Right.
I
Flo.
know that the post office has retirement accounts.
Yes, Flo. I was a slave owner. I invested in the 401k. I was an owner. I invested in corporations that denied workers here in America and around the world, denied them rights at work.
Which rights? Like the right to their retirement accounts?
Well, like the right to safe workplaces, the right to not.
Not in our lifetimes.
Hey, Flo. All right. You can think what you want, but it's not.
We're
helpful.
dealing with facts, Jack.
No, what I'm dealing with is a stubbornness that's within you. And you're not alone.
Because Sarah asked a very legitimate question and your response was very illegitimate.
Legitimate to you and illegitimate to you. So here, I'm
No,
happy
not to me. I don't have money in the stock market. I've cashed all that out.
Okay.
It doesn't matter to me at all personally.
Okay.
But to most people, it's very significant. And to say like,
I know.
To
selfishness. Yes, selfishness.
No, your
very
selfishness,
fucking important.
Your selfishness and indifference.
Okay, you brought that accusation. So where is my selfishness in your
You are indifferent to the suffering that people would endure by not having their retirement accounts. You are indifferent to it.
Wait. Okay. If that's true, I'll accept that. If that's true, you are indifferent to the suffering of those truly in poverty, in hell, today, right now. You want to imagine fucking excuses and defend the people of wealth while ignoring those who can't fucking feed themselves.
Well, there'll be a lot more of those.
3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth.
What? I'm sorry. What were you saying?
3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're just discussing.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. But this capitalism, dude, it is an insane. Logically, when you objectively look at the facts and the structures of what makes capitalism work, it is not righteous. Okay? The money changers, Jesus's anger at the money changers was righteous. So let's get in the fucking money changers' faces.
You know what's righteous is supporting the people that depend on you.
Supporting the people that depend on you.
Mm-hmm. The economy is more than just greedy fat cats. It's actually how real people survive.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So are you suggesting that without the Federal Reserve and the bankers' corruption, that people would not survive?
Maybe you're confused about terms, because that's not the economy.
Okay, so separate the economy from the bankers' lies then. Have you been able to do that yet? No, you have not.
Sure. That's the central bank system. Yes, central banks are scams. Mm-hmm. We all agree on that.
So let's start there.
Okay.
Quit fucking arguing with me. How do we fix this Federal Reserve system? We're on the same page. Who can help fix this? As I understand it, in 1913, it was a group of citizens in Congress that did that. Now, those citizens who fucking signed that and approved that are no longer there, but it's the same concept that brought it into existence can get it the fuck out. So if we can find, we can do this. The solutions are available. It just takes the minds willing to consider them. I have.
Well, I personally think that the only way to stop the central bank system is to just stop using the tools that they give us, the currency. Every time a dollar changes hands, it adds value to the system. So the more people can forego spending money, But what are we going to do? This is the system that runs the world, right? And has
right. People are dying right now because of these systems.
well, my God, I can't wait until they hear you at the UN say that thing. Then that will change it.
Barter system.
Well, actually,
barter is stupid, Cage. I've explained this before. Barter's retarded and inefficient.
I don't agree with barter either. There's actually many alternatives that are available. And you know what?
Who said that? Then Jesse? Sorry, Cage. Jesse, that's retarded.
You said we got to stop using their money. So what other system, if you're going to stop using, do we create Canna coins, hemp coins, our own money? Then again, it's money again, right?
Is that fucking Cage? What the shit? Salute. That just straightened out my whole mood.
Yes, thank you.
Is this AI generated or what's going on here, Cage?
That's really him, I think. Well,
you know what? I'm all for it now. Now that we've seen Cage, like we can just end that shit. Fuck all the people in there and they're feeding their family.
Hey, you know what? Actually, that's a gift for the stream. Thank you, brother. Thank you for sharing that rare appearance and even some of the growing. But guys, I know there is a way. And here, I know how silly, how ludicrous it sounds. You guys don't know me. You don't know what I've been. You don't know what I've learned. I understand that. But we got to accept the facts that what is happening in this world today on the global stage is not fucking acceptable. The censorship in the media, the bullshit lies in the news coming straight from these politicians that obviously do not give a shit about the common man. They've been purchased by lobbyists, and they think that's the way they're supposed to do their jobs because that's what their compatriots, other people placed in those positions, have been teaching them, that it's okay to sell out to lobbyists. Now, admittedly, this is coming from assumption because I've not yet had the opportunity to speak with people in Congress. Why is it so difficult to have conversations with people who supposedly represent us in a land of equality? Why is it so fucking difficult?
Why is it so hard for you to understand that they don't represent us and we're not equal?
Why do you think that's acceptable?
I'm telling you know that. I'm not telling you. I'm telling you this is not a value assessment. This is a reality observation.
All right. So we're on the same page. I agree. I find it unacceptable.
Okay. So then you think that your solution is to go to the people who are implementing this system that is unacceptable and say, what? They know that we don't like it?
No. Well, Flo, here's the thing. I don't assume to know what anyone does or does not know. As I was shown, forgive them, Father, they know not what they're doing. I know I've made a lot of mistakes out of ignorance, even though I had the best intentions. So I hold hope that there's people in government that may not know how incompetent and how foolish they actually look. Some of them are probably walking around, their families and friends are telling them what a great fucking job they're doing. They're being enabled. So let's create an opportunity for an intervention. Let's get the conversations happening. I mean, because honestly, I know this is the time too. I know I'm not the only one. I know there is people in Washington, D.C. There's activists doing demonstrations in the halls of Congress and at different people's places. There's a lot of things raising up. If I can be a part of it, that's what I want to do. That's what I'm trying to do. But in the meantime, we're here to overcome fears with gratitude. That's the topic, really.
You got to share my screen, Jack.
I would love to. What are you bringing up? You're muted.
This is Cage. This is Cage.
Bro, we grow dope out here. Come on.
Cage, I didn't realize that you were Ricky from Trailer Park
I'm
Boys.
trying
That's
to
amazing.
get 2 birds stoned at once over here, bro. Come on.
Dude, that is. Holy crap. That was quick.
2 birds stoned at once.
What were those guys called? Ricky from
The Trailer Park Boys. Yeah, yeah. And they're Canadian. And they grow dope.
Fuck off, Flow Stick.
I swear to God, Cage, you are an AI. You're AI, and they got into the Trailer Park Boys catalog or something. It's like Manly P. Hall and Trailer Park Boys. Your AI just focused on those 2 things too much. Where'd you go? Come back, Cage. You beautiful man.
I know. I like your face. It is good to see. And
People, I've shown my face multiple times. I just don't usually do it. I don't like being the center of attention like that. I like being anonymous.
You look like a cool cat there, Cage.
He is cool. Cage is
I
way cool.
loved him in Trailer Park Boys. That shit was funny as hell.
Right?
I don't know. I think gratitude, well, each day we get to choose. Within our awareness, that's where our limits are. That's where I was going to take this back earlier.
Can we take a moment and be grateful for how much Cage looks like Ricky and how much Mitch looks like Jonathan Davis from Korn? I showed it the other day on here. I'll pull it up if you.
I think I saw that too. I think you were right. Yes.
Yeah.
This life, actually, I was thinking about this earlier, Flo. Some of the characters that come into our lives, it's like they're like comic book characters. They're seriously beyond it. It can't. Some of the people I have met, they cannot be real. I mean, it's really got to be like, I don't know, AI, background people, glitches. I don't know, man. People are fucking bizarre.
Well, you could use like live AI. For all you know, that cannot be me. Like you could use live AI and put anything onto it. So, for all you know, that's not me.
There is Mitch. It's so.
It does look like Mitch, though. That's crazy.
Oops. Yeah, I pulled that off. Thank you, Flo.
And I look like the karate instructor from Napoleon Dynamite right now.
I don't remember that guy, but
You
I
look
would
like
take
a
your
French
word for
Canadian
it.
biker, bro.
A what?
French Canadian biker.
But my hat is, or my, this is an American flag bandana.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just has stars on it. An American French Canadian biker.
I don't know.
But yeah, Jack, the people in the government, you know, I know they seem very incompetent and whatever. But that's a facade. It's all done very purposefully. They know exactly what the fuck they're doing. You know.
I think most of them are just like anyone else. They found themselves in a position, they figured out how to fit in, and they're doing a job. They're obedient slaves.
Yeah, they were selected for the position because they're good actors. For example, you know, in all of North America, for some reason, like, you know, over here Trudeau was a drama teacher, right, teaching kids how to act, and then, you know, we had Trump, who was also in reality TV shows. So they'd be a great fit for it, right? They're able to follow a script and a narrative. And
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Flo. Respect.
On point.
Who is that? Who is that actor? What's his name?
I don't have any idea.
He's funny as hell. If it's who I'm thinking of, I remember him.
Rex Kwando.
Yes, from Rex Kwando.
What's this? Someone said to hypnotize you with a fucking another quarter trick or something, Flo. Apparently had a good effect on you.
No, don't run into that again. Please.
Diedrich Bader.
Oh, dude. Oh, that's not even close to who I thought then. I thought I was an actor. I was thinking of.
I've never seen him in anything else.
How interesting. All right. Thanks. Good job, man. Yeah, I thought it was the guy that's in other movies. I don't know. Familiar faces, perhaps. Maybe that's the deal.
To the solution, Jack. I think the solution is you're gonna have to change within because, and we get enough people to do that. I think reality is formulated off the subconscious mind collectively, right? So that we have all these programs instilled to us that limit our, our ability to have reality in a specific way. Right? It limits reality.
That's what I've been learning. There's a lot of the power in the words, and the truth is there. We have been programmed. Our minds are similar to computer systems, operating systems, and the education and the experience becomes our program that we perceive every new moment through and analyze based on the background information.
Yep.
The programming of this world teaches us to go insane. It's a brilliant fucking design, man.
Yeah, step number one is taking control of your own thoughts, because most of the thoughts that go into your head aren't even your own. You know, you can put specific numbers into people's heads and make them say it.
Hey,
So
hold on. With that, with the thoughts, right?
Yeah.
The thoughts are not our own, but people will believe that we'll allow the thoughts to take control of them. An idea, man, you get an idea or a lust into a man, it'll consume him. You know, we'll run off, we'll chase across the country off an idea and some lust. You know, welcome, Dick. How you doing, man?
Love freedom.
Cheers.
See, someone said they could see you in a movie, Jack. Remember my movie proposition I had before? I think it would be a great synopsis or idea for it. Jack travels across the U.S., going to the UN, and all the crazy adventures that happen along the way. To end legal secrets and and wars and stuff. That would be a great movie.
Let's make it reality.
Yeah.
That's actually the goal. I mean, to be honest, in my past is already.
Is that really the goal? Is to do a movie?
Well,
that's awesome.
Here,
I'll write the script.
let me elaborate a little bit. I did start authoring my own book, the book of my story, my life. And then I thought, I'm not done. How about I just live a life that I'll continue my life and I'll expand it and I'll live the life that others will want to write about. And there's been jokes about it, but which kind of planted the seeds. And I thought about it, dude, I could see my life in a mini series or documentary, especially if I can succeed. If I can find some way to interrupt the patterns of war and politics to help bring peace to the world, that'd be a fucking amazing story. Like,
just stay off the America's Most Wanted list.
I've already seen the ending. It ends with you in a FEMA camp getting tortured. So, I don't know.
I mean, the fact of the matter is every dictator has been a dictator ultimately to have peace by killing everybody who's in opposition. So,
right. They've been misled and confused. There's alternatives to the way that things have been. And I'm not claiming to have all the answers, okay? I'm really not. I know there's a lot of people who have looked at a lot of things, but consider this, just the logic behind this. Okay, what was it? 2008, the Wall Street collapse. It was all from these imagined fucking, oh, the term was right there. Flo, you know it.
Subprime mortgages, right? All the just bad debt basically coming home to roost, and yeah,
It's what happens when you give people things they
short
don't
selling
deserve.
houses. Sorry, Flo.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Clinton passed something in the 90s that allowed people
Yeah.
to get these mortgages without showing any form of being able to pay for them. And then you had the adjusted rate mortgages that, you know, they were telling these people this will be great for you, you can afford it, but only at this interest rate. And in 3 years, when you know, have the real interest rate hit you on your fucking face, you can no longer afford it. And then we have all of these foreclosures.
I hear
Right.
they're
That
doing
was
a bit of that right now. Like that's finally
Oh
come
yeah,
back around.
we're in another giant bubble.
Well,
Another
this
giant bubble.
exactly, and that's never good for the people. So let's get the people together to, you know, try to interrupt, because you're right, Sarah. The government promoted the loose offering of loans. You know, be generous, get as many people into debt as possible. But it wasn't that idea. The most beneficial, you know, based on facts, the best investments is real estate. So get people into homes, get them into debt so they own the home. But it's all manipulation. What I was talking about was the derivatives, the bullshit imaginary, you know, blocks of debt that these brilliant bankers figured out how to imagine and create and actually convince people there was a tangible value in this garbage.
I think they were called swaps, something like that.
Lots of, yes, there's, my point is, in Wall Street there's lots of creativity. I mean, Wall Street does, as I understand, they recruit some of the most talented minds, you know, to bring them forth into analyzing, reviewing data, figuring out the trends, the patterns. Let's find ways to create. My point is, let's bring those amazing, talented people out of the slave production of Wall Street, where everyone's gambling on yours and my futures, and let's get their minds focused on solving problems. Maybe let's get some of those hedge fund managers who have been making money off making money, you know, really not providing any value to the world, just manipulating a little Ponzi scheme, manipulating money or numbers around. Let's get them out serving some of the poor face to face, helping some people who are living a life unlike them, but right here and now. It could happen. If the options are made available to people.
What do you mean by poor, Jack? Like poor people in our own countries, or like third
Yes. Dude, it makes me sick when my eyes started opening to the sick fucking disparity of this nation. I mean, I'm not living high on the hog by any stretch. I mean, my finances are not, they're weak. But I go downtown in the middle of winter and I see people fucking shivering in thin blankets. Yes, some by choice, some not. But then I walk by all these businesses, fucking middle of the night, they got a fireplace going, you know, showing how warm it is inside while people are outside huddling in the fucking cold. This is sick.
It's brutal, Jack. I see that too, man. I've had that same experience where you're like going to a shopping area or something where people are gathering, and maybe it's new construction, like everything's a new veneer, so it looks all like ornate and perfect, and then there's people sleeping in the middle of the sidewalk. You don't know if they're dead or not. There's someone like passed out in a planter, someone over here that, you know, is like in that weird position where they're a 90-degree angle and they're just kind of like, you know, shaking, and then, you know, you see all the I guess more affluent people, and they can't even see it. They're just kind of walking by in ignorance with like shopping bags, like going to their next place or whatever to buy another trinket. And I'm not saying anything other than it's just a really weird, odd thing to witness. You know, when you see it happening, it's just like, this is fucking strange. I can't be the only one that feels this way.
It is. But you know, I grew up extremely poor too, and if I didn't make the right choices, that you could end up there. But you know, you have the opportunity, especially in countries like we're in now, to pretty much, you know, make a change and do whatever you like. Like, you don't have to be. They're not poor and helpless. Like, they can help themselves if they wanted to. You know.
We could
I do
all
agree with that. That is true. People can pick themselves up and change their life if they want to.
The thing is, they don't. They're probably just on drugs or have a mental health thing, and you know.
Well, that's why I say I don't think government solves it, because it always ends up being the same fucking shenanigans. I mean, what has government done well that you could have confidence in to say it's a good example of how getting them involved would be a solution to anything we're talking about?
So how do we abolish the government?
Here, actually, yes, Dick, what you're saying is absolutely right. And this is kind of where my idea is. I want the government to get the hell out of the way. Okay, locally here in my community, that's where the idea started. I know I've been active, and I know a lot of the people on the, boots on the ground trying to get shit done with some of these nonprofit organizations here in town. I know how hard they work, and how much time they spend trying to navigate through the bullshit of legislation. And so the answer seems pretty simple to me. Let's bring the community leaders, those with holding the purse strings of the community, and bring the people who actually are intimate with the problem face to face. We're working on these solutions. These are the problems we're having. These are the solutions that are helping. Let's get people involved. The community wants a better place for everyone, but people have convinced themselves they can't. That's what.
Do you remember that story where there was the gal who went to solve the homeless problem, right? And she took a big crock pot out and just started feeding the homeless. And there was videos on it. I remember this, sort of. I don't have all the details, but they ended up arresting her. I remember it was like they ended up ticketing her. She had to stop because she didn't have all the health department approvals and everything that would be required to actually, give a meal out on the street. And those are the situations where I totally agree with you. It's like, but then the people need to come together around that. They should have surrounded her and basically said, fuck you guys. The policy enforcement is not here to protect corporations and insane regulations. We're trying to solve a problem. But that didn't happen. So it's on the people in that sense. If you want less government, you don't want government involved, and the people actually genuinely have a solution, well, then they would have to stand and say, no, we got this. Stand down. You're not here to do that. If we already have a solution, it's dealt with at the independent level.
They don't want it to be solved, though. That's the issue.
Yeah, it's a big business.
Yes.
Part of the business model.
Same thing was happening with Pastor Arthur here in Calgary. I ended up taking a big pot, and I wanted to just feed people, had a bunch of extra. Went to go, and I seen this guy with this lineup, and it said street church, and then got to know them, started feeding the homeless with them quite often. And he was telling me about all the times that he had gotten arrested, how many times that he had got to go to court because of the same type of thing, feeding people without the license, feeding people, not regulations. And he set up right in front of City Hall, and that Pastor Arthur is the guy that went viral. Get out, you Nazis, you Gestapo. The one that's when they're during the whole, crazy thing. So
it is a controversial thing. It attracts a lot of riffraff. Also, it usually ends up with a lot of trash, litter, and also, it's an accountability thing. Like if somebody, it's not usually the most regulated, cooking standards and things like that. So the food prep, it could be, easily foodborne illnesses and stuff like that. But, so, it's definitely a controversial thing. But I think that the solution is really, honestly, I think those people do have authority over their slaves. So, you got to make your own community. You don't really have the authority to solve their problems. But
a lot of people take advantage of it too. For example, my mom used to work at the bank, and there's this homeless guy, quote homeless guy, right? He used to pretend to be homeless, yet he's driving like a Benz, has millions of dollars in his bank account, and just goes and takes advantage. And homeless people, they don't go hungry. You know how many times I've tried buying food? I buy food and try giving it to a homeless person, and they're like, no, I don't want the food. They want money. So
well, there's another side to that. There's a lot of people that take advantage of helping the homeless. That's also a lucrative thing too. A lot of people do that and ask for donations to do that, and that's like what a lot of the churches are.
Look on
and
YouTube.
government,
the kindness content on YouTube. They're gonna give someone like $20. They film it and put like some stupid fucking music in the background, some sad music.
Sorry, Jack. I digress.
What are they really doing that for? How much money do they make off that video? They're giving them like nothing really, and just taking advantage of them. Yeah, people do that all the time. There's a funny parody for that too. There's a guy on YouTube who does a parody and makes fun of these people. I'm not sure if you guys seen that before. It's hilarious though.
Hey, speaking of making fun of, I just realized, how did I pick Motivational Monday on a Sunday? For my thumbnail and my image. Thank you, NJ Jeep Girl.
You're so motivated that you got to head the day start on your Monday.
You're in the future. Jack's a time traveler.
Hey, and thank you for the contributions from other love and peace. So let's start with a new community, one community at a time, then one city at a time, then the country will adapt. That's one path as well, Tarek.
Yeah, that's kind of my point is like, you can't fix other people's communities, but we can build something better, and if we build it, they'll come.
If I can't give food to someone, though, I mean, what authority? Who do I get that authority from?
You can give food to people in your community, like people in your neighborhood or whatever. It's like, if there's, your
That's
neighbors.
what the lady was doing. So why can't she? Or anyone?
They're probably
why can't
collecting donations to go downtown with a big pot of soup or whatever to feed the homeless, and it's just, to me, it's like, I understand that shit.
And what's wrong with that?
It's very minimally effective, and it's often usually people exploiting the homeless.
That's a shit attitude. That's bullshit. It's like, if you're going to say that because they took donations,
it's not a shit
that makes it a negative. If you're going to say that,
have you experienced it? It's the
well,
reality.
I'm not here to boast, but I've done plenty of outreach work. I mean, plenty.
Great. What have you done?
I've experienced it firsthand.
You fed the homeless. That outreach work. What do you mean? Have you experienced it?
Yeah, I've done all that. I've clothed them. I've fed them. I've done everything.
All that. Or what does that mean? Like you go down.
Means I've literally done all that. I've done every single one of those things. I've clothed them. I've fed them.
A meal and then
I've given them shelter.
Well,
you hand them a bag of clothes.
What's your point? What's your point? I've done it all. I've done everything.
You've done it all. You've done it all. I'm sure you've done it all.
I have.
Mitchell, what are you trying to say? Are you trying? I mean, if you're trying to say that everyone who does that is who's out there serving,
because he wouldn't do that and then treat somebody, else because of other reasons, dislike that. It shows his personality to me. Well, it's disingenuous. It's inauthentic.
Mitchell, please.
Right. I yield.
Fortunately, my family knows otherwise. So, I've got no need to try to convince you of something because you're more concerned about what you think I'm doing or not doing instead of making an actual valid point about something that might be relevant.
Defensive over me asking you some simple questions to relate with you on the issue. I have a lot of experience with this too, on both ends.
No, I just don't want to get in a fucking dick measuring contest about who's done more for the homeless because I'm sure I have. So what's the point?
For over a decade without a choice, and
Jesse got stabbed 12 times for a homeless chick. Where'd he go?
So I have experience with this.
I
You
put
know, I
him in
have
the
fed the
bag.
homeless as well. I've been a participant on both sides. So, you know, there's
And your
I do
point
have
is,
experience with this. That's all.
so
I'm
who should
curious-
give me authority to be able to give people food?
Well, it just depends. Like I said, it's the citizen slaves. Like, are you going to take care of them if you make them sick? That's the real question. Like,
So I don't have a right to give another being food that I own, that's mine. I can't take that and give that to somebody else. I should have regulation. I should have big government
there
between
should be
me
some
and that process.
regulation. Yeah, there should be some regulation to that.
So who should give me authority to give what I have to someone else?
It depends on the situation. It's situational. Like, if you know there's people in your neighborhood or whatever that, you know, and you're cooking dinner and you're going to go bring them a hot meal, that's great. I don't think that should be regulated necessarily. But people taking money to go serve the homeless and shit like that should be regulated. It's a lot of room for exploitation, and I see it all the time.
If they collect any funds, that's where the government should get involved.
I've been involved with a lot of these people on YouTube and stuff like that, you know, brag about helping the homeless. And so, you know, it's a lot of it, it's part of their sort of business model to collect donations.
Can the people getting donations to feed the homeless also pay for the oversight?
Sure.
Are you talking about organizations that are helping the homeless?
Yeah, we're talking about having government bureaucracy take their
or
cut.
even just like people on YouTube. There's a lot of people on YouTube that are making a business out of it.
Right, that's an organization. They're organizing to feed the homeless. And they're doing it by taking money from other people rather than giving directly to the poor people. Yeah, I can see how that would be taken advantage of. But when you start regulating,
regulation won't help
passing out PB&Js, and you didn't know that dude was allergic to peanut butter.
No, it just
because all those
who
people
sounds like
are
a
supposed to be
submarine.
accountable for all their donations. Sorry, Sarah, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was hearing you and responding to Flo.
Somebody's microphone sounds like a submarine. It's
But I think you're right, Sarah. I mean, I think we're agreeing generally. You know, there should probably be some sort of regulation. But yeah, handing somebody a peanut butter and jelly, just, you know, regular old dude, you know, I guess, you know, they really
see the problem with society. The reason that we have so much bullshit laws and enforcement is because people want to use the government for their own agenda against other people. Bitch.
True.
Yeah. That
well said.
I'm not trying to use the government for
Yes,
my own
you
agenda,
are.
though. How?
You want charities to be regulated. You want more regulation.
No, I don't want more regulation. I never asked for more regulation. I'm saying
Oversight.
there should be some bit of regulation if you're going to be an organization, and that's why they have to report, you know, and keep track of all their money. You know, that's kind of been you know, these people who are using these excuses to take money on YouTube and shit. You know, they should be, you know, probably being regulated by, you know, their whatever, like a 501(c) or whatever, you know.
Just remember this conversation next time you're complaining about freedoms and rights and cops and stuff, because like you're literally demonstrating the reason that we're in the situation.
No, I'm not against government, and I'm not even against the beast system. Yeah, I think people are responsible for their participation in it, and the only way to you know, fight the beast system without being an enemy of the state is to starve the beast, to stop participating. So you're responsible for your own.
But you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself to take what's yours and be able to give it to someone else. You need someone else involved in that to make sure that you're being safe and convenient while going through that process.
That wasn't necessarily my argument. My argument is these organizations that are basically taking money to help the homeless. Those are really the real problems, because they're not helping the problems.
Yeah,
and generally, the people
if I took a church parking lot,
are the
he's
ones
talking about scams, and this happens all the time. They say they're helping.
The people benefiting are the ones that are helping. right? The ones that are helping are the ones that are benefiting.
I had a point to make about this.
Yeah, they're usually making money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a point
I
to
think
make.
there should be regulation there. That's all.
You see
Fair?
how
I'm
people.
not saying there should be more or less. I'm saying there should be
Mitch,
regulation.
Mitch, let me say something quick, please. I heard someone mention earlier that people got into some legal issues for going out and helping the homeless people. Do you think that's really for public safety, or is it for greed, or is it because they really want to have this issue? They want the homeless people to be homeless. That's what it is. It's big business, as
I
you're
don't think
saying.
it's necessarily
Because,
that they want the homeless to be
if it was
homeless. I
about
think that
public
there are
safety,
so many options
hold
for
on,
the
Mitch.
homeless to get
Mitch,
food. I think
if
there
it
are.
was
It's impossible for a homeless person to go hungry. Impossible.
listen, if it was about public
Unless you're
safety,
just lazy and stupid.
if it was about public safety, why would they allow, like, for example, Halloween just passed, right? Why would they allow children to go to every random door and take free food or candy if it's about public safety? It isn't. They want them to be homeless. It raises the rental market.
Wow, dude, what a great example.
Well, no,
Yeah,
it's true though. Think about it.
And they can feed them shit, corn syrup, GMO, fucking trash. It's just gonna fuck their head up. No problem,
Exactly.
no regulation,
Oh,
nothing
no
there.
issue there. No issue there. Yeah, go ahead.
Great
Right?
point.
Yeah, they want that. Yeah, it's the responsibility is on you. And if you're delegating your responsibility to the government to protect your children, then that's on you.
Some of the stuff that this Pastor Arthur said about what he was dealing with the corruption about feeding the homeless in Calgary here was the fact that they'd be getting all these millions of dollars, but it wouldn't relay to millions of dollars of help to the actual people. Lots of people were taking their cut, lots of people there. So the amount of food that they ordered wasn't the amount of food that they were serving. So it was a way for them to funnel money from the government using helping the homeless as their example.
Exactly. And if you guys, I don't know if you guys have, we have something called Goodwill here and Salvation Army. And these
we have
guys,
it here too.
yeah, you can search it up. These guys, they were caught, like the CEO, they were caught filtering or, kind of like misappropriating millions of dollars to go directly into their pocket.
And how do they get
It's a
caught? By
fucking racket.
regulating it, by keeping track of all the money. They're supposed to keep track of all that shit, And if you're not doing anything shady, there shouldn't be any problem with keeping track of it. You'd almost be proud to do so.
Full transparency is one thing that we can all, lobby for if the government system, if there's there, we need full transparency. Like Jack said, none of this legal secrets, none of this stuff where, they have to classify it. All that shit's got to come to an end.
I would say though, realistically, especially like Goodwill, tracking all of the stuff that they get that comes in is really difficult. I mean, you can get shit that just comes and go without even knowing that you had it super easily. Because I mean, people just dump stuff off and then walk away.
Yeah, and I bet all the good stuff is probably taken probably, right? Like, anything of value the employees fucking grab. But that's how it is. People are greedy, unfortunately.
There's some people that abuse that too. There was this donation center that I knew someone that worked at, and every time they got a large donation, there was this guy that sold, clothes. Won't say the ethnicity, but he had a little clothing store. He would go there, pick up all the free clothes, and then sell them in his little discount clothing store. So he'd actually take advantage of this free system by making money off of being able to get the stuff for free for his inventory.
There's that aspect of it for sure. There's people taking advantage of the homeless, and then there's the needy, and then there's those people taking advantage of the services. So it's just, it leaves a lot of room for exploitation, and I'm just kind of over it. It doesn't, none of it's helping the problems. It's all a bunch of bullshit as far as I'm concerned. There may be little bits of goodness sprinkled in, and obviously I don't think any of it would exist without doing some good, but generally speaking, I think it's doing
and
worse.
The root of
more,
all this
more bad than good.
It's mostly drugs, which are brought in purposefully by government agents like the CIA and stuff. Like, for example, the crack epidemic, the fentanyl, all that kind of stuff. This is being pushed on the masses very purposely. They're doing it on purpose. They're bringing it in.
Proof?
You can search it up. Look at Ricky Ross and shit. He was working.
There's lots of proof.
Brought the crack in. There's plenty of proof for it.
actual LA cops that were finding out that the CIA was bringing the stuff. So there's lots of proof, lots of whistleblowers, lots of it that the government's bringing in. They actually work with the Mexican cartels, and so there's lots of actual, physical proof of that stuff.
Fast and Furious, we armed them.
What I don't get though is if you don't solve it in your community yourself, then the only other option, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe there's something I'm not thinking of, is a social government structure somehow being efficient enough to actually do the right thing, which is just astounding that anyone here would think that that would be the correct route to, figure this out. Wouldn't you want to have autonomy at the ground level where people actually go out and form organizations through their profit, through their good works, through their ability to actually, run businesses and be sound in their thinking and know how to actually solve problems? Because if they don't have a track record for solving problems,
yes,
what
but-
makes you think the government's going to do it?
Well, yeah, it's like almost going to your
I would say
robber. It's like going to the guy who
it's not
robbed you and asking, "Can I please have my stuff back?" Like, why are they giving it back? They just fucking robbed you. What the fuck? Shut up and get back to it.
basically every fucking NGO. It's funded by the government and through grants and funding and whatever. It's all just a way to evade paying taxes, and it's all just a bunch of bullshit. It's not helping the problem, so it's not really effective is my point. So ideally, I think I agree
though,
with
man.
you,
You go
but
out, you give some guy a pair of socks in the wintertime, you have a conversation with him, you see where he's at. You never know what connections you can make for that guy. You just don't know. You don't know where
I
that could go.
understand. But
So
I
that's
made those
valuable. You don't say it's
connections.
not valuable. Now you make me think you've never done it then,
It's
obviously.
valuable to some degree, but it's not solving the problem. It's like putting a Band-Aid on it, and it
Small
never
things
really
like
heals.
that, Mitchell. Small things like that can change an individual's whole trajectory. Treat them like a human being instead of ignoring them. Right?
Yeah, you should be doing that anyways. That's not like a reason to boast or raise money or anything like that. It's just what we should be doing naturally.
Yeah, and also,
But if
like,
you're going to
if
be
you do a
doing
good,
an
if you do a good
organization
deed,
or whatever,
this is why I'm against people filming this shit and then making, getting famous, making money off of it. If you
I
do a
agree with
good
that.
deed, it annuls it. It completely voids it if you go and start fucking telling people about it. You do it in silence, all right?
Yeah.
You don't go and
You don't boast
Well,
about your good works.
here's the
There's no
thing.
reason to do that.
It's kind of our
Now you're doing it for
responsibility. It's not
selfish
really a
reasons.
business
Now you're not.
opportunity.
No, because when you post it and when you tell people about it, now you're doing it just for some social validation instead of doing the right thing, just to do it in silence and to be, because it's the right thing to do. I don't need.
Who
to
cares why people do something good? If it's getting done, it doesn't really matter what
Because
they're.
the idea of helping people isn't helping people. That's it.
Not helping
So
them,
anytime I hear the word
exploiting
I'm
Hold on.
helping, and then there's money involved, my red flags is like instantly go up. I
Red
just gotta,
flags are fine, Mitchell. Red flags are fine, but you cannot just automatically assume that the worst in people. I mean, we do live in this world
I
where,
don't
yes,
think I do that, but I just think that that's a real fine line for me, because I have a lot of experience in that. So it takes a lot to really show you're doing more than good than bad, and that it's not about the money and you're not the one benefiting. There's a lot of things that go into it for me. It's like to me, for a lot of people who are doing it for a business opportunity.
No shit. That's what charities are and always have been to a large degree.
But when it
to me,
comes to
that's
this stuff
fucked up.
that's,
And
but when it comes to
that
this stuff
should be
that's
better
public,
regulated.
but some of the
How are
stuff
they-
when it comes to this public stuff that's going on, sometimes it spurs others to do it more because they're seeing others do it. It could actually have a positive effect as well.
Mitch, why would you want it to be regulated? Did the war on drugs stop drugs?
No,
Has gun laws
that's not what I'm
stopped gun
saying.
violence?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not.
Has the
it's not
FDA kept dangerous
an-
medicines off the market?
You keep going back to the same type of analogy, and it's not at all what I'm
I
saying.
know.
I'm not
Government
saying it
regulation.
needs more. I'm not saying we need more legislation to solve the problem. It's
Just
not
more
at all what I
more.
said.
It is sort of what you said. What didn't clarify it?
No, okay, sort of. All right, but it's not what I said.
Tell
all
me
right?
specifically what
You're
you said.
misconstruing what I said. What I said is quite simple. It needs to be better regulated. That doesn't mean
What
more
does better
regulation. That
mean?
could mean less. It means it's ineffective. So obviously, something needs to change.
Okay, you're playing semantics.
No, he's saying the current regulations
No,
are
I'm not.
working.
There are
People are
plenty
taking
of things.
advantage of the situation and are not actually helping who needs to be helped. They are helping themselves under the guise of helping others.
A lot of people have made a living off of living on the system, and a lot of people have made a living by the idea of helping others.
Yes.
And so it's a fucked up system.
I mean,
So-
honestly, if nobody gets sick and they actually do help people, is there really anything wrong with that?
Well, your idea
It'll
is
just be a
subjective, so,
capitalist approach to solving, homelessness or hunger or whatever the issue is.
Yeah, I think maybe like the idea that you think you help somebody by going to give them a pair of socks. Yeah, maybe temporarily you did help them, but in the long run, they're just going to become dependent on that type of shit, So they're not really resolving the problem. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it's something that would spark a conversation if you are looking and willing to do that. I mean, you may not be in a position to take that on. That may be more than you're able to do. Maybe all you can do is give a pair of socks. It's literally all that's in your budget. But you want to make that token of, gesture, olive branch to another human being to say, man, maybe it'll help their situation. It's like I've heard from a lot of homeless people that firsthand testimony, that would be something they would really like people to do more, is just come out, say hi, give them a hug, tell them, that they're loved, and give them a pair of socks. I hear that all the time.
And that's just an optics of what I'm saying, Dick, is like, don't give to one of these organizations, maybe just go out and help somebody in your community, not for YouTube donations or what the fuck ever, but, just because, that would be more effective.
People are in different situations for all sorts of reasons. We don't have to belabor this whole conversation. I mean, I think it's kind of worn out, to be honest.
I'm just not sure why somebody's sentiment matters. If you get the good thing done, I really don't care why you did it.
Yeah.
Well, good is subjective, I guess.
Exactly. So here's the question I started wondering. Why do we allow poverty? It doesn't have to be. I mean, the reality is poverty is a tool that gives wealth power. So it's in the best interest for the wealthy for there to be poverty.
Well, Jack, why are you allowing that?
Well, I'm actually trying to find others who want to join me in my efforts to try and change it, because I think it should be changed.
How do you change poverty?
It should be.
How would you change it? What are the mechanics of your solution?
Well, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's truth is what frees us from the lies. The lies are what have convinced us and others to live in a state of poverty, to accept poverty as a reality.
These aren't the mechanics. Thank you, Chuck.
I didn't hear what Chuck said. He interrupted me and I couldn't understand. What were you saying, Chuck?
He said that's not answering the question. And that's right.
So right, and your interruptions certainly don't help, Chuck. So I know sometimes I can deviate a little bit, but the truth, ending secrets, ends the Federal Reserve.
How? It's public. Everybody knows what the fuck it is.
Okay.
It's not a secret, Jack.
The legality of secrets have allowed politicians and CEOs and shareholders and executives to make some pretty evil and corrupted decisions. So here, Chuck, I'm surprised you don't get it. I get why Flo's a little resistant, but God is
why
the
is
truth.
Flo a little resistant?
Well, because it involves God.
No, because it involves because your solution is already in effect. It's like
no, it's not. You're
there's
lying.
Nothing to be revealed about the Fed.
Okay.
Can I step in quickly?
Please
Maybe
do.
Be helpful.
my own solution here. What I see is this, right? What are the social engineers attacking the most? The family union, right? So I think it really starts from, from the root cause of it, which is the way people are programmed from a very young age through the formative years of their lives. So it takes a village to raise a child, right? That old saying. So if people become educated and teach their children not to believe in these things and this social engineering agenda, and that they have zero power, and maybe start teaching them that reality is formulated through their subconscious minds and stuff, and maybe then we'll see a change, right? You start from the beginning, because that's exactly what they're trying to destroy, is the family unit. So you need strong parents, communities, families in order to have any change on this for the next generation to make a change, right? If not, then we're just stuck in a loop. Really, that's how I see it. So yeah, teach your children about the esoteric teachings, about the Hermetic principles, natural law, about about the things that actually matter in life, so they'll be able to enact a change for themselves, and therefore change the people around them, or have an effect on the people around them. I don't know. Is that a decent solution? I'm not sure.
You guys have all your answers. I'm trying to offer different ones, but
You're not offering answers.
all right. Have a good night, Flo. I mean, we've spent enough time together that you've had plenty of opportunity to understand. You
keep banging this drum, but then when people try to actually figure out how to enact it with you, you're like, meh.
No, that's not true. I know that's the description that you and others have wanted to paint, but the reality is there's many who do understand what I'm saying.
How would we enact that, Jack? You haven't answered it still.
How would you imagine it being enacted? See, this is the problem. You cannot. You have not considered
Neither
it.
Can you?
Flo.
I'm asking you, and you don't have an answer.
Flo, I do. It is possible for people to stop lying. Okay.
It is possible, but they choose not to, and that's the problem we need to address. Is how are we going to get?
Who are they? I'm trying to talk to you guys.
This is our conversation to come up with solutions.
I'm not hearing any solutions except for me. I'm hearing fucking complaints and negativity again.
Just imagine that we're offering solutions, Jack, and stop disagreeing with us.
Well, I'm not going to lie to myself.
I think I offered, Jack. I think I offered some
interrupted Sarah. Please.
Okay. Let's say the truth is the solution to all of our problems. Okay. So that's our goal, is to get to the truth. But we know that loads of people refuse to speak the truth. So the only way to get to the truth is to convince those people, or to get them to change their value system, or whatever they want, or whatever it is that's preventing them from speaking the truth, to be removed.
Fear prevents people from speaking the truth. Have you noticed what I've been trying to suggest and talk about? Even the topic today, overcoming fears through gratitude. Gratitude can be shared just as easily as fears. And through gratitude, we can expand the truth that all of us know.
But I'm grateful for Tarek reminding me not to be a dick.
Well, fear is actually a necessary part of the human condition. Why? Because it keeps you safe.
Fuck, oh dear.
But what you can do is you can transmute fear into courage, right? You can transmute these things either way.
No.
But I'm thinking it's there for a reason. All these, you like talking God, right? So all these emotions that God have instilled into us have a use for them. Fear is there, for example, like I know not to put my hand into the fire because I know it's going to burn me. So there's a fear to it because I don't want my skin burning off and getting third-degree burns, right?
I don't know how this has anything to do with the topic.
I don't know, but I'm going to burn his skin off now just because he's scared of it. I'm going to come burn your skin cage right off of your body.
You know what? Hey,
can I get a skin
Sarah, seriously, are you here to just oppose me?
I was talking to Unslaved. I don't that it will start at the UN.
I know.
I personally don't.
I know. So,
but I do think that we need to have the truth out there. I'm just still waiting on how we actually accomplish that goal.
I've been trying to offer it. I've been trying to offer it, and you've been not willing to even consider it. You and Flo
offering a solution to the problem. You're offering an idea, a concept,
you know what, Sarah?
but not a practical application of how to achieve that goal.
Okay. I know that's what you want my viewers to think, because that's what you think, Sarah. But that is not accurate. Okay. And I don't care. Here's where I'm at, and I'm going to be honest. I love all of you. I love all of you, but many of you have, you've been kind and present here for yourself, sharing time with me, for me. But all this bullshit accusations, all the false narratives, all the arguments are not helpful. And tell you what, I can clear the panel and I can talk about the solutions that I know.
Could you rank us in order from most of the ones that you love?
Jack, you are perceiving it as we are being argumentative. We are just simply pointing out some issues that need to be addressed to achieve the goal.
You're trying to get waterboarded.
Well, I want to know, can you not understand why I'm seeing? I mean, you want to make your excuses and justify.
Just say, yes, Jack, you're right.
Sarah,
everything will work out perfectly.
Don't play this bullshit.
No fucking problems. We're going. All we got to do is tell the
have a good evening, Sarah. God bless you.
Have you guys ever heard of Talcott and drip torture?
There's no such thing. There's no.
There could be, though. There could be.
You don't need to start creating more false narratives about Jack Talcott to be fucking spread around. You can stop imagining lies against me anytime you want.
Jack,
do you want me to burn his skin off?
Yeah, it was a joke because Flo was saying waterboarding. So what about the Talcott and drip torture? You know, like Chinese drip torture? Over here in Canada, we use maple syrup instead of water. It's even worse. It's even worse than that.
Can I please get back to the topic I was trying to clarify about the unnecessary? Let's debate. I mean, can you consider why poverty is not necessary? I mean, everyone's sitting here arguing why fear is necessary, why wars are necessary, why all sorts of evil are necessary. How about we start focusing on what the necessity of good could be? Can we please? For a fucking change? Thank you, Dick.
The whole thing about a debate is that you hear both sides without getting angry, right? We need to discuss. That's what debating is.
Okay, but Jesse, yes. Has my side been heard? Do you think if I felt like my side was heard, do you think I'd be showing this?
No, I heard
you.
We all
tell you
heard
what,
you,
bring
Jack.
Sarah back up. You guys can continue to talk shit about everything I've said. Go ahead.
No, Jack, I think you're misinterpreting it, right? Just because somebody has an opposing idea doesn't mean they're
That's right. Don't run with that narrative. I'm fine with opposing ideas, but for the love of God, accept and consider what I'm saying before you oppose. Try to understand maybe why. Why would Jack keep saying this stuff?
Jack,
why is he so fixed on this? This reality? Why does he think this is real?
Do you want to be in an echo chamber, Jack, or do you want to actually have some sort of?
If this were my panel, I would drag Jack in the middle right now and give him a group hug.
I don't need a hug.
I think you do need a hug, Jack.
I'm wondering about you, the sanity and the state of your mental conditions, all of you. Honestly,
I think it's your perception.
I know, Sarah.
You think we are attacking you. We are not attacking you.
I know. You're also not listening to me. Sarah, you are not accepting me.
I'm not attacking you. I am trying to actually talk about these ideas.
Right. You're not talking about solutions.
I don't care. I don't fucking care that you cannot see that we are actually trying to help you.
Sarah, you're lying. You are lying. Sarah.
I'm not fucking lying.
Okay.
I'm just telling you the fucking truth.
Sarah, you think you're telling me the truth. You think you're helping me. So let's be
I know I'm not helping right
specific.
now. I'm just pissed off because you cannot hear what anyone says when it doesn't agree with the shit in your head.
Sarah, you're talking about yourself. You seriously are talking about yourself. You're projecting onto me. Many of you do it.
Like Chuck.
Hey, but Jack, I did offer an actual genuine an idea of a solution, right? Starting in the home, because that's exactly what the social engineers are going after, the family structure. And this is why we're in the position we're in now. So if you instill specific ideas and morals into, you know, the next generation, or like your family, the people around, then that'll have an effect. It's like you have to inject a different code, right, into them.
Yep. You're speaking concepts that have no relevance. You have any
about injecting genetic code into people? Is that what you're talking about?
What the fuck?
No, a code, like a mental code.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of something totally different.
In a way, it is eugenics. You have to counter eugenics with eugenics.
So you are fucking them?
Not really, no. Maybe in the mind.
Hey, I see what you did there.
You know. But obviously, we're going to get nowhere.
What I'm trying to offer. Sorry, Flo, or Cage. I was trying to talk and I missed what you said.
Well, this is the other issue. It's a communication issue, right? If you can't communicate effectively, then you get absolutely nowhere. And that's what that's exactly what the social engineering is designed to do. It's designed to divide and conquer. They call it Ordo ab Chao in the 33rd degree Mason.
You'll be missed, Cage, with your beautiful face.
Ouch.
So it all starts with you, really. Because I honestly believe this is a conscious projection of reality, you know, subconscious projection of reality in the collective. And I feel like if there's just one person who broke out of it, we see everything change. All you need is one. But obviously no one's there yet, unfortunately. Not me, not you, not anybody here listening. If it were, then we wouldn't be in this situation, the way I see it.
Hey, so I'm being told that by many people that it's me, I don't listen, blah, blah, I'm the problem. So I'm seeing a lot of irrelevant, like all these negative side topics, side arguments, all this shit that has no relevance to what I'm trying to talk about. So can someone show me, am I wrong? Was there relevance to... What was the relevance to imagining excuses for people who don't exist in our life right here? I mean, just rather than even consider what I'm offering to you right here.
That's what questions are there. That is the act of considering it.
Sarah was trying to get down the specifics.
That is considered. That's how.
Okay, tell you what. I accept. You guys are right. I missed the boat. Everything was wrong. Sarah, if you're still there, please come back up. I'm humble. I accept. I'm the fucking problem. So let's move forward. What specific questions relevant to the goal, to the idea, the benefit? I mean, you can't even imagine a benefit of a world, even if you don't believe it's possible. Can we at least talk about the benefit of what could be?
I'm not interested in the topic anymore. You're taking all the fun out of it.
I've been waiting for years for people to take me seriously. You assholes want to keep joking and having fun at my expense. I appreciate you, Flo. I didn't mean to call you asshole or anyone an asshole. That's my frustration, my own disappointment. But you know what? I'm not worried. Go ahead, guys.
So food, shelter, clean water. I mean, those are the key requirements, right? To have the basic fundamentals to where then you could focus on peace and tranquility and then feng shui and building out your environment. And so if you don't need to have like an overly extravagant house, you could do this tiny home type of thing. Get yourself a piece of land, inexpensively priced, pick a part of the country where the land prices are lower and maybe you got a little bit less regulation, not as likely to have an HOA. Hopefully you could find something with a well on it, because if you got a well, with some filters, you're going to have a really clean water supply. And at that point, hopefully if you pick the right piece of land, you could grow. But even if it's not the right piece of land, like the piece that I'm on right now, you can still make shit happen. And it's still, surprising what you can do, even if the situation's not ideal. So I think it's really just about creating that foundation. Now, if people wanted to go together and say, buy land that could be partitioned, somehow come up with $250,000, $500,000 for the land, partition it out, build a bunch of tiny homes. It's been done, can be done. And with like-minded people, I'm sure they could do it.
Yeah,
it's not the path for me per se, but I think when people talk about coming together, whatever, what does that look like? You can actually make something happen for yourself or with others if you want to make a plan and do something, but just requires
generally,
execution and effort.
A lot of times a homeless man doesn't know where he's going to take a shit, so they don't plan that far ahead. But I think that there are ways to resolve the problems for sure. That's a great idea.
Well, sure, and I mean,
to land and to do some sort of communal effort to.
Well, I was
you got
going
all
to
these
point
supposed
out.
philanthropists, right, that are throwing around money. Jeff Bezos says he wants to give billions and billions and billions of dollars away. If somebody created a good, written plan that actually was lean and mean and efficient and could solve problems and have his name on it, because I'm sure it's all about ego at some level, maybe you could get the ear of these type of people. I would go after the capitalists, the people with the money, more than the politicians. Fuck the politicians at this point. What do? They just print more dollars, put us in indentured servitude in perpetuity. $140 trillion of unfunded liabilities. They can't get shit done. I'd much rather work with someone who's productive and actually has a track record of solving problems. So I'd go after the Bezoses, probably not Gates, because I don't know, that guy's freaky, but maybe Elon Musk, Jack.
But he owns
I,
a ton
I
of
do
land
know.
there.
I do know there was a group of high-tech people out on the West Coast a few years back that got together with this in mind, and it totally bit them in the butt. It just totally bit them in the butt, because that was their aim, was to try to resolve the homeless situation on the street, and all it did was got worse. The other thing I was going to point out, I don't know if it was Dick or Jack that said something about the people out by the barrels trying to stay warm, and here's a store with a brand new fireplace in it that they don't open their doors and let them in. And I'm reminded of the story you told, Jack, of what happened to you when you brought all those people in.
That's what I'm saying. Who's going to be accountable for what goes when shit goes wrong?
Yeah, Jack got what, knocked upside the head, some stitches or something, and robbed for showing the kindness of his heart.
Well, no good
Just
deed goes unpunished. But yeah, there's this guy who tried doing that exact thing here. I think he got to about like 30 or 40 of these small homes for the homeless. These little tiny things. It's better than having a tent, right? And the government came and shut them down. Fined the fuck out of them for trying putting them in prison, everything. So they want
for not
this
following
shit. They
the
want it.
regulations.
Yeah, they want it. How do you think? Like 90? What is it? 90% of the wealth it goes to like 1% of the the population. Because you need homeless people, you need workers working minimum wage. You need that. If not, the system doesn't work.
I know somewhere, I think it was Texas or Oklahoma, somebody went and followed all the rules and developed a small house community. And what happened was, when they got the people in there, The people quit paying. The people quit helping each other. They became squatters in a sense.
Yeah, like
And
cockroaches.
it turned into a disaster. And I'm not saying all of them will.
Well, I mean,
But a few
that's
a
why I'll
few of
say
these
it's
things have been
like,
tried.
oh, go ahead, Chuck.
Well, hey
No, I'm
Chuck.
done. Go
Hey
ahead.
Chuck. Yeah. Do you have anything positive to add?
I
Actually,
wasn't
no.
being.
No, never mind. Never mind. That was all positive. That was all wonderful. Thank you, Chuck. I am very grateful. Grateful you left, actually. Thank you, Chuck.
It's all right, Jack. Unfortunately, not everything. You know, you can always turn a negative to a positive. Right? Transmutation.
But why does people, Chuck specifically, why do people insist on offering negativity to me? Okay, in this instance, he's talking about, well, they tried that, and Jack, I don't know what the fuck he was trying to say. He didn't even have the facts right about me, but he sure talks about me all the time. I don't know what he was trying to say. What? Jack's an example of don't fucking help people? Fuck you, Chuck. That is not the lesson of my life. The lesson of my life is you give. You find people and you help them. And yeah, maybe we'll make some mistakes along the way. And maybe some of the people that will help aren't the most trustworthy. But you know what? You keep fucking helping people. That's what we're here for. We're not here to just sit around and bullshit and complain and make excuses. We're sitting here. I am suggesting, guys, after all the things I have said about God and love and peace and all, we're all on the same page about the corruption of our government and the banking system. Why?
Yeah, well, I hear exactly what you're saying, Jack. I shouldn't discourage you because, you know, most of the time when you try doing the good thing and, you know, like do the moral thing, it usually comes with consequences, right, that are negative. But yeah, you have to accept that and keep doing it no matter what. I don't care. It doesn't matter, really. So I do see what you're saying on that point, but I don't think Chuck was really. I think you're looking into it too much. I don't know your relationship, but I think you're.
Are you quitting tobacco again, Jack?
Admittedly, that is part of it. But
Okay.
That makes
now,
complete sense.
Now it's making sense. Jack is having nicotine withdrawals.
Hey, good on you, brother. That's awesome, man. Hey, that's going to be hard for a little bit. That's tough, but good for you for taking it on again. You'll do it.
You know what? Thank you.
Yeah, you got it, bro. You don't need
it's
that
not
shit.
an excuse. It's not an excuse. And I know I shouldn't be rude to people, and I know I definitely don't need to be profane.
You know what they call the uninitiated, Jack? The vulgar and profane. No,
Very humble of you, Jack. Well done, man.
Well, it doesn't change anything, though. This is what I don't get.
It does. It totally changed the energy for me.
Look at Lou Bass just assuming. How do you know, Lou, that he's not chewing Trident or some aspartame-free alternative?
It's spry.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there. Xylitol. It's good for the teeth.
You should try even what's it called? Sunflower seeds. Yeah, just you have to replace the habit with something better. Start fucking eating sunflower seeds, bud. Keep your hands busy. Your mouth and the. You know.
It's it's not an excuse. It is my goal, and honestly, my goal is to treat people better. I've been failing at my goal, obviously, but a long time ago, I made the choice I made excuses for myself with the nicotine, the cannabis, a few other things that aren't healthy for me.
Yeah, Jack? What do you mean you're failing? You're not the only. You know, the only time you fail is when you give up and stop doing it, right? So as long as you keep pushing forward, there's no failure. Really.
I disagree. I don't judge failure as a bad thing. A failure is just an experience.
Learning experience, right? And
And
a winner
when
to win, to accomplish your goal, you're gonna have to fail a bunch of times to continuously go on. And
yes,
so the only time you actually fail is when you stop and you give up.
I have failed to accomplish based on my intentions and my desires, my goals. When I do things, I have a purpose for what I'm doing most of the time. I mean, admittedly, I don't, here's where I guess I don't know. I don't know. I actually treat these panels, at least mine, as kind of serious. And maybe I shouldn't, because it is a fun place for people to hang out. And actually, here, I recognize as I'm saying this, holy shit, I'm not consistent. Because I offer this place as a place to hang out, and then other times I have purpose and intentions, and nobody knows what my expectation is. And today people were probably under the assumption it was a safe place to hang out, just to have conversations, and here's Jack getting in his feelers again. I don't mean to do that, but
Well, Jack, don't get upset with this, please, but pretty much what it is, what I've learned for myself too. Like if I want to change anything inside of myself, first I have to master my own thoughts, my own emotions, my own mind. If not, then I'm never going to get a consistent result. I'm never going to see what the results that
Cage, I understand. Yes. What I'm trying to, I understand.
Master yourself, Jack, and then you'll see things change.
So they say, Cage. I've been doing the best that I can on my own for a long fucking time.
That's all
and
you
for
need.
the majority of what I've been receiving, it's just doubts, disbelief, and negative feedback.
Perfect. All energy is energy. So that's energy to transmute. That's fuel to the fire. That's perfect.
Yep.
Like throwing a log into the fire.
Perfect.
You need to keep the fire going. So bring it all on. Perfect.
Well, brother,
That's
I've
how you look
been
at it.
practicing that. I have been practicing transmuting it, experiential alchemy, taking those negative energies, trying to build the strength. I've been doing that shit. What I don't understand is everyone gets to choose what they offer to me. I've been asking for mercy, maybe a little compassion, some fucking respect or support. But hey, bring me your disbelief, bring me your mockery, bring me your whatever you want. Fuck it. I'm here. I guess it's my fault. It's my opportunity. Sorry.
Everything in everybody's life, everything that went wrong in my life is my fault. Everything that went wrong in your life is immediately yours. Even if it's circumstances that you can't control, you still have the choice to how to react to them. And life is 90% what happens to you, so how you react to it. 10%, what really is brought forth to you. So it's all on you, really. You have a choice to react in whichever way you see fit. Is that going to be a negative way that's going to put you further back from your goals, or is it going to be something positive that's going to uplift you and bring you closer towards that finish line? It's up to you.
I feel I do offer respect. I feel I do offer support. I offer kindness. I offer forgiveness. I offer encouragement and inspiration.
I think
I'm not responsible for what other people do or do not see. I'm not responsible that people ignore the good from me, ignore the good from life, ignore the good from God. God's not responsible for that, and neither am I. I find the good. I see the good. I try and share the good. I believe the good is with me. I believe God is with us. I believe truth is on our side, that this world does not need to be divided by us and them anymore.
See, that's a funny thing. I was talking about this the other day. Belief is one thing, but you have to really know. You have to know. it has to be an automatic function in your subconscious programming to the point where it's like, do you think about your breath? You can think about it, you can control it, but it's automatically happening even if you're unconscious of it. Same with your heartbeat and your internal functions. It has to be built into you to the point where it becomes an automatic thing. You don't even have to think about it or believe in it or any of that. You just know it. And it's even beyond knowing, it's just an automatic function. You have to instill that into you, and then it'll move accordingly.
Hey Jay, welcome. You joined up.
Yeah, Jay, I think you got a bit of an echo going.
Yeah, this audio's messed up.
Oh, when you showed up, you did have that warning that you've got the Android and Chrome.
Yeah. Right.
Which means either headset or you may want to switch to a different browser from Chrome. Someone tried DuckDuckGo. Others may work, but
All right. I'll fix it and I'll be back up then.
Yeah, use DuckDuckGo.
please respect. Thank you, Joe. Although, admittedly, it's 2.5 hours in. I have allowed my angry cot to show, and I know I dampered the energies on the panel. Everyone was having fun until Jack threw his fucking tantrum again. I don't think it was that way, that extreme, but
I wouldn't worry about it. It's no big deal.
thank you, Dick. I appreciate that.
You recognize it. That's the hardest part, man. We can deal with
Thank
the
you,
rest.
Nick. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
am trying, honestly and authentically. I really am. I'm trying to find my way, trying to find what is true. There's so much shit in the world between the past, the present, the future. There is so much out there we can argue about. I try to focus on right now. Now, living in the present the way I have, I've been living day to day. My life has been teaching me this. The benefit of living in the present, guys, that's how we're supposed to be. I had to learn to do that because when I thought about the past, I want to cry. I still do. I still don't understand. I don't have answers. There's still a lot of fucking pain in there.
You're
So
living in the past, huh?
I don't live from the past anymore. I'm here today. The past was. It is there, but I don't need it. It doesn't control me for the future. But the future too. I mean, shit. Lots of uncertainty in my future. I don't know what the hell's going on. How long can this last? How long can it be like this? I've been in this situation for over 5 years, and I do not know what to do to get it to change. I know, Cage. It's all inside, Jack. You got to fix yourself. Yeah, I know. But we could help each other. I know that for a fact. But hey, we can also just say we're helping each other just by imagining arguments, you know. That's what I've experienced, and there's a purpose, though. There's a purpose for all things, and I trust that. Hey, NJ. I know you don't ever come up on the panels, but
Hey, Jack, if you can't help, if no one will help you, you could help Mitchell by buying some of his trophies.
Some trophies? What are trophies?
Yeah, he's got a deal on trophies.
They'll fuck your mind.
What's the going rate on trophies these days, Mitchell?
Selling trophies. I respect. I'm not in the market for really investing economically, financially right now, but you know, hey, guys, I feel like wrapping it up, if you don't mind.
Yeah, on that note, I just wanted to say, you know, with what Dick said, that word help, that word drives me crazy, and how I interpret the meaning of that, I interpret it to be to make it easier for someone, and I don't think that's necessarily the solution. I think we need to better alchemize, the problems, and not just have an easier path. I think we've had it too easy for too long, and we need to do better. So that's my perspective on it. That word help just drives me crazy. Sorry, it's nothing personal. It's just so many people have tried to.
What word could help? I mean, could replace help? Collaborate.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Support.
Cooperate. I think New Guru would be proud of that. Cooperate. I think that's a term that he really, really likes. So
Thank
I
you.
think
That is
we're got to cooperate with each other. I think we're being sensitive. You may have been a bit sensitive tonight, but also, it could have been, a result of us being sensitive towards you. So, it goes both ways, and we just got to get better.
Hey, thank you, Mitchell. That is what I share. That is the message I thank you for reinforcing
I got to
that. That's
jump
what
too. Cheers, guys. Have a great evening. Thanks, Jack.
Peace.
Mitchell,
Thanks.
Cage, have a good one.
Later, Dick.
Thank you, brother. Cage?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, thanks, Jack, for having me. Everybody have a great evening, and I'm sure things will resolve themselves, Jack. Don't let it fuck with you too much, in a way. It'll happen eventually. Just keep to it. Just keep to it.
You know what? Thank you. I'm gonna wrap up. And I'm expressing honestly, authentically. I share myself honestly and authentically with all of you. I don't hide things. I don't have any ulterior motives. I don't have any hidden agendas. I'm not trying to extort or, take advantage of anybody. Well, we're each on our paths, and I could have done better, and I should have done better, and I'm sorry. I mean, no disrespect to Flo, Sarah, any others. However, I know what I have been facing. And like has been said, I can explain things, can't make anyone understand. And I'm not explaining things I don't understand. I mean, if I don't understand something, I'm honest about it. But if I'm saying something as though I know it, not just me. Do this with others, okay? Allow people to express themselves, even though it may be clumsy, okay? Even though it may not be the perfect words. If you can allow others to express their ideas and accept their ideas so that you can understand their ideas, then if there really is a disagreement, then we can be discussed. And through identifying with clarity on the disagreements, and you know what? Here's where I'm speaking through it. I failed. And I'm sorry to those I learned from. How about that? I could have done a better job of reminding us all to come into the present, to gain clarity in what the disagreement actually was. I mean, why is this disagreement even relevant to the topic? That's where things can get confusing. And as the host of this, I will try to continue and improve. Respect, I appreciate that. And I do rewatch myself. I do try and learn. Hey, and you know what? Sophia, I've seen your comments and I'm happy to explain. Don't assume I misunderstood. For once, try to consider why Why I viewed these arguments and these disagreements as irrelevant, unhelpful, and unproductive. I mean, in the topics of what I'm trying to discuss, it's like I say something and immediately it's no. And then as something comes up, well, that reminds another conversation and then another conversation. Then I just sit back. You guys got to see this. You've got to see it. I've got to break it. You're right, Anna Faye. You're right. I've got to break the patterns. I've got to make the changes. Hey, that's probably interesting. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Everyone's going to have their opinions. Everyone's going to have their beliefs, but I know my practice of gratitude. You know what? This pisses me off. It really does. It really fucking does. Because I feel so good. I feel good. I know I'm not wrong. And I get all these people want to, well, Jack, you must be the problem. You're the idiot. But your family, they're the right ones. You never fucking met my family. Oh my God. Maybe I should hold these little reflections for myself. Yeah, I realize that. Que sera, sera, or whatever it is. You know, this is my life, but I really don't understand. I really do not understand. I honestly thought when I found God in my life, I honestly thought people might want to be around me. I thought people might want to invite me into their lives. I thought people would support the things I was doing. Trying to make the post office a better place to work. Trying to get a promotion so I was making more money so that I had a better future for me and my son. I thought people could see that. I thought people could see that I wasn't self-serving and I was trying to help everyone. And you know what? Hey, Jesse, we'll never fucking know, will we? Not at this rate. So, brothers and sisters, go enjoy your lives, living the same life, keeping the same beliefs, and enjoy what you choose to know. If anyone wants to know more, feel free to reach out. I may or may not return tomorrow. But I love you guys, regardless. One way or the other, I do. I love all of you who have been part of this adventure because it's helped me grow. And now I have a different perspective on me and this world, and it's time for new choices. So we'll see what the future brings. And brothers and sisters, till next time, choose love. Peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless.